the center flows to the floor. The angel opens her eyes. The confusion sets in before the doubt can even close the door. Lightning crashes and old mother dies. Her intentions fall to the floor. The angel closes her eyes. The confusion that was hers belongs now to the baby down the hall.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tuesday Tales Presents the Ballad of Broken Bird. How's it going, Chuck? How's it going, Jessica? Good to see you. So I'm using our old set because I forgot to stop and grab our new studio equipment from Bobby. Should do this song Thursday. That's actually an idea that kind of popped into my head when I heard that song. So you will probably hear that song, Chuck. So anyway, we're doing chapter 53, and yeah, so we're a chapter away from next week is the end of the book. So it's weird. It's a weird feeling today. I have been pretty emotional today, and I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it has to do with, well, I think a lot of it has to do with the ending of this book, because I'm saying goodbye to a lot of people on here, or in the book, and yeah, I mean his story is told, and that's it, and the adventure's over. It's kind of like when you've really invested yourself into a really great movie, and then it's the end of the movie, and you're kind of like, well, shit, now what? So it's that, and among other things, the I read the chapter over to today, and I started processing a lot of the losses that, very real losses that I dealt with, involved in this chapter, and it was kind of reliving them. And hey, Kev, how you doing? Um, and like one of them was the death of my mom, and yeah, there was a few times when I had to kind of just check out for the day, and I kind of lost my shit. So so yeah, it was it's just been an emotional day. I helped a friend of mine say goodbye to his pup that he had to put down. She had lung cancer, and he showed me the X-ray. Oh man, that lung was really horrible, the poor thing. And I thought about my own lung cancer, and oofta, man, it's yeah. So it's been a day, and so it's kind of bittersweet having this be the end of the book, or being close to the end of the book, and the material I have to read to you tonight. Hey Beth, how are you? Good to see you here. So so yeah, we've traveled across the United States with Broken Bird, and we met some pretty cool characters. A lot of them are very similar to the people that I know, and yeah. So um, I'm excited for the book launch this weekend on Saturday. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Paulson, for being gracious enough to host that at your store. Yeah, so I've gotten a lot of online book orders from people that aren't able to make it. So, and I am having kind of a sale, online sale for people that do want to copy the signed copy of the book, but aren't able to make it on Saturday. They can private message me, and we'll take care of the payment details on private messenger. And yeah, so I do PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle, and I've already sold quite a few copies that way for people that can't make it. So anyhow, yeah, so that's where we're at there. I just got my book markers that I'm gonna give away with the books, and I also got a author signing poster placard made up, and I will show you guys that after tonight's reading. So, that being said, because I'm using the old my old studio equipment, I had to take my watch off, my smartwatch, and I had to set my phone way the hell over there, um, to keep the static down. So yeah, hopefully that helps out. Hey Bobby, how you doing? It's good to talk to you today. I kind of needed to hear your voice. So um, all right, so let's get into tonight's story, shall we? Let's jump in. It's about as long as last week's was. Um, Next week's chapters is not as long, but there is an afterword as well in the book and some notes and other stuff that I should probably read to you. So, anyhow, yeah. So, what do you guys say? We'll just get into it, huh? I have to remember how to use the old the old studio board. All right. Oh, also on this broadcast here, I did put a link up. Thank you, Jessica. I put a link on this live stream, and for the book on Amazon if you want to order there's the Kindle version, which is $9.99, and the paperback version, which is $25.99. So there we go. So I think I got the static thing figured out, because I really don't want any interruptions with static on this thing when I read this chapter. These next two chapters are just too very important to deal with technical shit, and I know you guys have been waiting patiently for these two chapters. So let's go with chapter 53 tonight, and hopefully this doesn't yank your heart out and kick it around a little bit. So, all right. The Ballad of Broken Bird, chapter 53. When Mom was dying at Bergen Mercy Hospital in Omaha, Nebraska, she had a tube in her throat, and a tube that went into her chest that drained all the excess fluid in her lungs. She had emphysema and had pneumonia. She had coughed a hole in her lungs, and she ended up here. On top of all that, she had a stroke and half her body was dead. It didn't look good, and we were looking at pulling the tube and letting nature do what it does. Let Mom fight on her terms. The doctor said she would have to live in a specialized nursing home. I asked if I could take her back to Minnesota with me and I could get a live-in nurse to care for Mom. She was very adamant about not wanting to ever be in a nursing home. I wanted to wait until all us kids were here. Sandra had flown in from Florida a couple of days ago, and she was with Missy. It was my turn to stay with Mom in the hospital. Chris and Dessa were driving from Virginia. Mom had been in a chemically induced coma for the last 14 hours. She hadn't made a peep since, and things looked grim. The palliative care nurse had come in to check on her and then sat next to me on the couch. "Your mother isn't doing so hot," she said. "We haven't had any medication in her for 7 hours, and she hasn't stirred. Her oxygen is at 82%, and the chest pump we have in her can't seem to keep up with the fluid accumulating in her lungs. There's more blood than mucus in there." "What does that mean?" I asked. Part of me knew what that meant, but I wanted someone else to tell me. "She may pass tonight. It may be prudent to pull the tube now." "No." "Sir, I understand how you feel, but it may be best." "No. Let me call my brother first, and then I'll let you know." So I went outside. I needed a cigarette to get me through this. I sat on my bike and looked up. There was a dark cloud that hovered over the hospital. Just the hospital and nowhere else in the city. Lightning lit up the cloud. "You're trying to leave, ain't you, Mama?" I said to myself. I dialed my brother. "Hey, what up?" he said on the other line. I didn't know what to say. "Look, Mom ain't doing so hot. She's been in a coma for 14 hours and she hasn't moved. The chest tube can't seem to keep up with the fluid in her lungs. She's drowning in mucus and blood." There was silence on the other side. I think," I said, "the nurses think I should have them pull the tube now." "Fuck," I heard him say. Just wait. Dessa and I are on the other side of Iowa from you. We can be there first thing in the morning. Please, just wait." "Okay, brother." I flicked my cig into some bushes and went back upstairs to Mom's room. I opened the door and I jumped. She was wide awake and looked directly at me. I almost screamed in terror, her eyes wide and watery. "Ma," I said, running over to her. They had restrained her wrists so that she wouldn't pull her tube out. Her left hand wriggled in its cuff. I brought over a notepad and a pen and placed it in her hand. She wrote, "Where are my babies?" "They'll be here tomorrow morning, Mom," I said, and a tear leaked down the side of my face. Her good hand grabbed mine. It was warm, and the skin was thin and wrinkled. She gave me a squeeze and then patted my hand and went back to sleep. All my siblings arrived the next morning. Mom was wide awake to greet them. Because we had all grown up in different lives, this was the first time in a long time my mother had all of us kids together under one roof. When I awoke, the shape of a thin black man sat next to my bed. His hand was outstretched and resting on my left forearm. I didn't know who it was at first, to be honest. I thought it was death. Maybe the movies were right, and some guy in a nice suit comes for you and takes you up to the pearly gates or kicks your ass to the lake of fire. "What's up, little man?" he said. "You gonna sleep all day?" "Who the fuck are you?" I murmured in a tired voice. I must have looked confused because he squeezed my arm and scooted himself closer to me, and I shrank back from him. "It's me," he said. "It's your big brother." "Big?" I said. My eyes blurred and then focused again. His face was familiar. "Brother? You wish you could forget about me." His name was eluding me. I ran the photo album through my head. Chris and Dessa were kids from my mother's first marriage. Their father was a black man from Natchez, Mississippi. He was in the Navy and met my mother when she was living in Virginia. He got custody of them after the divorce and raised them full time while Mom found herself married again to another Navy man, my father. I didn't realize I had older siblings until we were traveling on one of our many road trips, and we happened to be in Virginia Beach. We stopped at a strange house I had never been to. I was maybe 5 years old. Mom went in, and I waited in the car with Dad. She came out with these two kids, and she introduced me to my brother and sister. They were both shy like me. Eventually, they came to stay with us every summer for a couple of weeks each year. It was hard on me to see them go back home to their dad at the end of each stay. Their dad died a couple years before Mom. I remember thinking to myself at Mom's funeral, watching both of them sob, how horribly alone it must feel when both your parents are gone. I guess that's the moment a person truly grows up, when there's no one to go home to because there's no more home. I'll never know that loneliness. That would fall on poor Sandra if we were going in pecking order according to age. But now I had them all beat. "Chris?" I said, looking at my brother knowingly. "Fuck, man. I'm sorry. I'm not very good in the memory department these days." "All good, man. I've just been anxious to see you." I I thought for sure I'd outlive you." He laughed. "Not the way you lived your life." I laughed too, but it was true. He had his own troubles and his own addictions, but he straightened out, and I kept running the line. Well, here I am, bro, I said, the product of my own insanity. You've got quite a spread of friends, he said. That Kelso guy and his wife drove up here from Florida? And that Stella chick you met in New Orleans? Yeah, there are quite a few cool souls I ran into out on the road. I wish you could have met them all. Too bad you don't have time to write a book about all of it. Oh, I'm writing about it. I pointed to the leather bound notebook I had on the bedside table. May I? He asked, picking it up. I nodded. He opened the cover and flipped through all the pages. Holy shit, man, he said. This is all from your trip? Yeah, I'm still writing in it, I said. I'm going to keep writing until I can't no more. Even this conversation we're having? Hell no. I don't want anyone knowing that I got a brother better looking than me. And then we both laughed. Did you take Mom's ashes back to her res? He asked. Our res, I corrected. And yes, I did when I started this trip. I always wanted to know about our heritage, but I was raised by my dad. Never got a chance to visit the reservation growing up. Didn't Mom ever tell you stories about growing up on the res? Not really. If she did, I was too young to remember them. Can I ask you a big favor? Sure, bro. What is it? Will you will you be my steward? My support after I'm gone? I don't even know what that means. You'll be in charge of bringing my spirit home, my ninja chog. But I don't know anything about. You're my older brother. It would be like protecting me when I was younger. Only this time, I won't be a whiny shit ass. I don't know, man. It would mean a lot to me. Take me back to the reservation. Bring me to old Ben Lost Horse's place. He'll teach you what to do. Do you do you want to be cremated? Dude, I don't want to be dead, period. But I got no control over that. So yes, have me cremated. Is that the way our ancestors did it? A mischievous grin lit the corner of my mouth. Nah, bro, I said. You know how the ancestors did it? I'm afraid to even ask. But you're going to tell me just by the shit eating grin on your face. They used to put the dead up in the trees. Let nature have them. The birds and the bugs, the maggots and the scavengers. When every last bit of meat was gone and the bones were bleached in the sun, the steward would take the bones to a family cave and lay them to rest with the ancestors. Fuck, man. No way. Serious as a heart attack. Google it. Well, I guess cremation it is then. I don't know. I kind of like the OG way. He grimaced at the thought. Hey, brother, I said, holding out my hand. Help me up, will you? Chris grabbed my hand and pulled me up. Everyone out by the fire? I asked, trying to get my brain to catch up with my body. I think so, he said. I've been sitting here for an hour or so. Hey, I got another favor to ask you. Jesus, you are still a whiny shit ass. You've always been the smart one in the family. good grades, scholarships, etc. Would you be willing to edit my journal into a book? Really? You plan to publish it? If I can. Josie is shopping around for a publisher. So if you could give it to her when you're done, I'd be very thankful. I can't believe we're talking about this. Publishing a book? You know what I mean. You dying. Your funeral. Fuck, man. In a way. In a way, I'm glad I'm going before you. Other than my old man, I can't think of another person that could protect my soul better than you. Dad's done so much for me already, and somehow it seems right to have you do it. I got you. Uh, you ready to head outside? Yeah. Let me grab a brownie. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, you want one? Fuck. I haven't done that in a long ass time. Come on. Last time with your little bro. He took a square, and we toasted our brownies and ate them. Dad was dutifully tending the fire. He smiled at Chris and I and began to poke the embers around. The kids were hanging with their aunties, and Connor was looking at my bike with Jack. Hey, Connor, I said. Like the bike? Oh, yeah, he said, standing up. Your daughter won't let me buy one. You're already listening to her and letting her rule your life before you even marry her? God damn, kid. He smiled and kicked the dirt around. Jack ran up and hugged me. I imagined him as a grown man. Probably look a lot like my dad when he was young. Which is good. Dad deserved to have a legacy, and Jack was perfect. Better than a fuck-up like me. I thought about him on Lucy and Cruising America, and that lit my face up. Hey, bro, Chris whispered. I think Connor wants to ask you something. Yeah, I whispered back. What do you think it is? The question every dad dreads. Oh, shit. I ain't ready for that. Well, let him sweat it out a bit. Look at him. Connor was trying to act nonchalant and doing a very horrible job of it. He poked at my bike and then looked over at Coral and then quickly at me and then down at the ground. My brother and I were cracking up. You good, Connor? I asked. Yeah, Connor, you all right? Chris added. Yeah, he replied nervously. It was like he was trying very hard to find words. That poor son of a bitch. You sure? I asked. Well, I kind of wanted to ask you something. Is that right? Connor looked at Chris and then at me and then at Chris again. Yeah, if I could talk to just you, he muttered. Well, ain't that a fine how do you do? Chris feigned insult. If you think I'm going to be okay with you dating my niece. Chris, I said, give the kid a break. Come on, kid, I said, putting my arm around him. Let's go talk by the fire. We sat down in our own space by the fire. I think Dad knew what was up because he smiled and then headed up to the house. Chris went over to our sisters, and Jack followed his papa inside. Well, I said, looking at the fire, you got the floor, buddy. What's up? Coral and I have been dating for about 10 months now, he opened. I thought about that. I was both sad and happy. And I really can't picture myself with anyone else, he continued. She just she gets me. We make each other laugh. And my stomach fills up with butterflies whenever she's with me. Why are you telling me all this? I asked. I wasn't going to make it easy on him. Well, I I really love her. I'm glad you love her, but why are you telling me? I'd uh, I'd like your permission to marry her. And there it is. You said a lot of unnecessary stuff there, bud. Just cut to the chase. So, it's okay then? Look, Connor, you don't need my permission. Coral is a grown woman and can make her own decisions. I don't own her, but I appreciate you asking me old school. He sat there confused because I didn't say yes and I didn't say no. When do you plan on asking her? I asked. Uh, well, I I wanted to do it before you this poor kid. Before I die? Yes. Can you promise me something? Sure, anything. Can you promise me a long engagement? Um, l- like, like how long? 15 years. Um, how about 5? A negotiator. Nice. Look, I'm only pulling your chain. You two decide what to do with the rest of your lives. I'm not going to be around. But I'm going to tell you this, Connor. Don't you ever purposely hurt my daughter, physically or emotionally. And don't expect her to wait on you hand and foot. You both need to be equal partners. Do you hear me? Yes, sir. And if you make her cry, trust me, I will figure out a way to come back, and I will haunt the shit out of you until you lose your goddamn mind. Uh, yes, sir. You're a good kid. My daughter really digs you. Her sister is fond of you, too. Have you met her mom yet? Yes. Well, keep your opinion to yourself. Leah can be a lot, but she means well. And after I'm gone, she will be the only parent Coral has. Yes, sir. He got up to walk over to Coral. I looked over to where the girls were, and behind them stood a giant white wolf, Ska Sunka. He noticed that I saw him and nodded his head. Connor, I said, and he turned around. Yeah? He said. No more yes sirs from here on out. If you want to ask her before I'm gone, you better do it soon. He looked a little horrified at that. He nodded and walked slowly over to Coral. The wolf walked the circumference of the sacred fire. I could feel the heartbeat of Mother Earth beneath my feet as he walked. I was both both frightened and elated to see him again. I wondered if he carried the spirit of the elder I communed with in Oregon. He walked a few paces, sniffed the air and the ground, and made his way slowly over to me. His large snout sniffed the air around my face, and then he bowed his head. I blew my breath into his face and then touched my forehead to his. I didn't know if I was doing this for real. No one around the fire seemed to notice.
You're still in your vision, broken bird.
He said into my head. Yes, I answered.
Are you
Are you ready to fly to where your heart cries out?
My heart cries out to be with these people, Skasanka.
The spirit and the body never agree on where it wants to be. But your body has grown tired. Your spirit has learned what it needs.
But I've mended and built all these bridges. We looked around at all the people here. The spirit of my mom and Uncle Bones walked around the fire with my grandmother and my grandfather.
You have done well, broken bird. In the process, you've healed your wing. Now, you're ready to fly.
Skasanka said. Now? I asked.
Soon. Very soon.
He walked over to Lucy and sniffed around her and then faded away. Still seeing ghosts? Kelso said, sitting down next to me. Yeah, I said thoughtfully. But not that spooky shit I saw in St. Augustine. I know these ghosts. I talked with your nurse friend. Josie? Yeah. I asked her you were well enough to go for a scoot. Just around the block. Nothing too crazy. She was cool with it. Yep. You think you're up for it? Dude, I'm always up for a scoot. My body sometimes has issues with it. Okay, well, let me get that mine down off the trailer and we'll be ready to go. I'm gonna go ask Stella if she wants to come with. She didn't. She had enough of riding and was happy to just hang out by the fire with Kelly. I asked Dad, but he was happy just tending the fire and entertaining his grandkids. I guess it's just us, I said. Probably the way it's supposed to be, Kelso said. There was something up with him. I couldn't put my finger on it, but he was acting different. Got any idea where we're going? He asked. I hopped on Lucy. She felt so good. She had been a big part of all this. And like Uncle Bone said, she never failed me. I looked up the street. Skasanka sat and waited on the corner of the next block. Yeah, I got an idea, I said. Follow me. She purred to life and the exhaust popped and growled. It was good to hear the rumble of Lucy's motor. I was 19 when I fell in love for the first time. Real love, or so I thought. She was an Italian girl, and a year younger than me. She was a model for John Casablanca and was on billboards and J.C. Penney ads. Her name was Annie. I had fallen hard for her, and she was my first. And maybe that's why I fell hard for her. And maybe that's why I'm writing about her now. Our first time was up on a bluff on the Iowa side of the Des Moines River. It looked down onto the city lights of Omaha. We were on a blanket in the back seat of my Monte Carlo. It was slow and awkward, but it was beautiful and poetic at the same time. We returned to the same spot whenever we could, and we got better at it. With all of that, we got closer. At least, I thought we were getting closer. I played with the idea of moving in together, maybe even getting married. But that was the furthest thing from her mind. And I also wasn't the only guy she was dating. There was another guy. He was much older and owned his own restaurant. She had mistakenly made a date with both of us on the same night. And when I showed up, he was also there in his Mercedes. The look on her face was priceless, but it hurt me pretty bad. So bad I grabbed a bottle of booze and took a bottle of sleeping pills. I was right up on that bluff, crying to the sky. I felt ugly and unwanted. There was this pain inside that I couldn't escape from. So I popped a handful of those pills and swallowed it down with some Jameson. Oh, God, I said in my head. What the fuck did I do? I realized too late that I didn't want to die, but I had already taken a pretty high dose. So I just finished both bottles and waited. There were no ancestors welcoming me to the other side. No angelic music and no faceless stranger claiming to be my ancient friend. I just drifted into darkness. But perhaps my ancestors were looking out for me that night. Maybe my petitions to the stars above alerted them to the pain that bled from my heart, because a friend of mine was up on that same bluff. She was making out with her boyfriend. It was a popular spot, and if memory serves me correctly, I believe I heard about that spot from guys I worked with. She called out to me from her boyfriend's car. He came out and started to slap me to wake me up. If I didn't have sleeping pills and Irish libations punching my brain to sleep, I would have knocked his teeth down his throat. But things went black, and I woke up in the ER. They pumped my stomach. I spent a week in a mental unit. My roommate taught me how to play Sympathy for the Devil on the guitar. It was a fitting song for the madness that walked around the halls here. When they let me out, my roommate was angry because he was staying. Evidently a lifer there. His quiet, friendly demeanor turned into ferocious rage He splintered his guitar on my back and tore a chunk of my hair, tore it out before 6 security guards restrained him and put him in a quiet room. When I went back to my apartment, it was empty. I found another bottle and drained it. I hopped on my bike and wound up on that bluff again. It was empty that time. Not a car in sight. I laid there on a large rock and I asked the sky, what now? And now here I am again. I'm a dying old man, sitting on a dead man's old motorcycle that brought me across the United States. Next to me is a man named Kelso. Some folks call him jet fuel. In the short time I've known this man, he has done more for me than most friends and family I've known my whole life. This is a beautiful spot, he said, admiring the view of Omaha. Yeah, I said. This is where my heart used to cry out. Ska Sunka stood next to me, sniffing the air. What are we doing here, brother? Kelso asked. What's the point of all this, man? I said. Seriously, we spend our entire lives building into something that passes for what we wanted, and then shit hits the fan, boom, you die. That's life, the experience of it. I used to think that life was just pain, constant pain. I know it's supposed to teach us something, but really, you get over that hurdle and another shows up. It's either bigger or sharper or both. Shit, sometimes the fucking hurdle is on fire. What's going on in that head of yours? Everything comes full circle, doesn't it? It does. Maybe not just love is irrelevant, but life. Maybe life is irrelevant. You're starting to scare me a little bit, brother. I could almost see a younger version of me lying on that same rock, crying up to the heavens and asking the same questions. I wish I could talk to him now. The younger me. Tell him he had so much more to experience, so many things to live through. But none of that would matter. I'd still make the same choices over and over again. Maybe when I meet my faceless friend, maybe I'll stay a while and not come back here. I'm sorry, Kelso, I said, and I stroked the fur on the great white wolf. I'm just thinking out loud. You planning on... He paused for a few seconds. Ending things? I looked at Ska Sunka in the eyes. He blinked slowly at me and then looked up at the stars. I need a favor, I said. A big motherfucking favor. I'm not going to help you kill yourself, he answered an unasked question. I'll do a lot for you, damn near anything. But that's one thing I can't. I don't need your help in that, my friend. Then what? I don't want to keep going until every last iota of my being is nothing but a defecating, empty-headed lump. I didn't come all this way to get to that point. I get it. So, what are you thinking? In a couple of nights, I'm gonna hop on Lucy and drive up here alone. He was silent for a long time. If it wasn't nighttime, I'd probably see tears fall from his eyes. What do you want me to do? He finally said. I need you to find Lucy afterwards, I said, looking at him. She's gonna need a lot of repairs. I want you to fix her up. I'll wire you the money before I go. When it's finished, I need you to deliver it to my nephew Jack. He picked up a rock and chucked it, screaming at the top of his lungs. Fuck! I'm sorry to ask this of you, I said, putting my hand on his shoulder. But you're the only one I think can handle that. He was fighting for words. You're a god-awful prick. A fucking prick. I know an ex-wife that would probably agree with you. There was no humor on his face. I'm going to tell you right now, he said. Even if I found your bike, I couldn't repair it. The frame would be fucked. Your bike has to follow the laws of physics just like your body. Gravity will fuck up that frame, and I won't be able to repair it. But I'll tell you what, I can fix up the tank or the engine and put it on another frame. It won't be Lucy, but it will have her essence and yours. Then I guess that will have to do, I said, a little disappointed. And what about your remains? Are you going to fucking ask me to put those in a plastic bag and bring them back to your family? No, I said, and realized I was asking him to do some fucked up shit. I was asking the people I loved and cared about to do a lot of fucked up shit. But this. He turned to look at me, and then he hugged me. When are you doing this? He asked. I don't know yet, I said. But you'll know when I'm not there one morning. But it will be soon. Does anyone else know? Stella, your kids, your dad? No. Another reason I'm doing this. I don't want anyone to find me dead. If I do it this way, I'm out of sight and out of mind. Except for me. Except for you. I'll tell Stella before I go. Jesus fucking Christ, man. You want my advice? You're gonna give it to me anyways, right? Don't tell any more people. Just do it. It would be shitty to those you care about. Everyone here has gone the long run for you. Just leave it with me. Again, I'm sorry. Can we head back? Yeah. Skasanka watched us leave, knowing that I would be back soon. And that, my friends, is chapter 53. How'd you guys like that one? That one was a lot. Holy shit, we almost went the whole hour. I'll be right back. I got to show you guys something here, and I'm gonna have to flip on the light, so it might blind you a little bit. Hang on. All right, you guys still with me? Oh, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That one was a little well, damn it. Yeah, Kev, yeah, I know you recognize that conversation. Um, yeah. So that was chapter 53. And teary tears. Yeah, this just the thought of this, just the thought of the story today has really brought me to tears. So it's been a tough one. Um, so um, this conversation was a actual real conversation. Not that it was going to be done, but um, I had to talk to the real Kelso and figure out the logistics of all that. And it actually kind of fit the way that this is going to end. So, anyhow, yeah, there you go. There's that. So now I believe some of you good folks are coming out to the book signing, which I am super, super, super grateful that you guys are going to be doing that. I'm super grateful that the Paulsons are putting it on for me. Um, Timo's going to be having a hand in helping out there, and Bobby's mom will be there helping out. Bobby's daughter went around town and passed out flyers and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this has been one hell of a journey, man. And I don't know, I don't know how next week is gonna go, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to say goodbye. And then I'll probably take a week off, and then yeah, I don't know where we might go back to horror hump days on Wednesdays. Yeah, we'll see what pans out. So, anyhow, before we go tonight, I wanted to show you um a little something that it's actually a real little something. So I ordered some bookmarkers to go with the books that I sign for the book signing. And I am going to give you some advice if you go to order bookmarkers. Make sure you have a ruler with you so you can see what sizes look like. I thought this was going to be a little bigger. I mean, and it's still kind of cool or whatever, but yeah, it's they're little. So you're going to need your glasses to read this Christmas stories. You're not getting any Christmas stories out of me, Kev. Sorry, buddy. Possibly Bobby will do that for you. But anyways, here is what the bookmarks look like. Like I said, they're tiny, and my nails are dirty. The Ballad of Broken Bird. My name. It's got the URL for this page, and on the back it says, "He has 12 months to live, a lifetime of wounds to heal, and nothing left to lose but the horizon." The Ballad of Broken Bird is a fiercely moving, lyrical, and ultimately uplifting exploration of what it means to truly live when time is running out. It's a story about reclamation, the healing power of the open road, and a man discovering his true self at the very end of the line. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, these are going with the books. Um, also got this for the signing table. I don't know how I'm gonna. Here we go. Let's do this. There. Here's the the author picture. Book signing, The Ballad of Broken Bird, and then it's got the Facebook address on there. So anyhow, so yeah, we've got that. Also, Pimo and myself have been talking about getting some merch done. As far as like T-shirts and everything like that goes, coffee cups, blah blah blah. So anyhow, we will be doing that. Probably talk about that on Sunday because I do believe Sunday morning we're going to be getting together for coffee with friends. So I didn't get to do that last weekend. Anyhow, what to say? What to say? I can genuinely say that this has been an amazing journey with you guys, and I'm glad you guys like the book. I haven't written serious stuff or published any other than poetry, and most of my stuff has been horror stories. So, um, yeah. So I didn't know how you guys would take this kind of story, and evidently you guys like it. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy to have you guys as friends, and yeah, I hope to see you guys Thursday night. Bobby and I will be getting together and jamming, doing some jamming, and then Sunday we'll be doing. It's gonna be a busy week because Thursday, toe tap and Thursdays. Saturday is the book signing, and then Sunday coffee with friends. So wham bam boom. We'll be busy little beavers. I'm also grateful that there are going to be some people driving quite a distance just to come to the book signing. So I'm kind of happy about that. Well, I hate the fact that people are driving that far to come hang out for a couple of hours, and get a book for me and have it signed. But I'm also very grateful. Um, but yeah, the real Josie Wales will be here, and my dad and my stepmom will be here. The real Kelso and Kelly will also be here. So yeah, and the real Dr. Paul Robertson will be here. And yeah, so yeah, and certain bartender at a tiki bar in Florida will also be here. Hopefully, I don't know, he hasn't been feeling too good, so but yeah, we'll have some there'll be some characters here for sure. So yeah, Kevin will be there. Absolutely. So yes, thank you guys very much. I'm emotionally drained today. I spent a lot of time today, as my older brother would say, crying like a little bitch. So, yeah, and I wish I had a whiskey I could slam, but unfortunately, all I got is this tropical punch body armor. So, anyways, good to see all of you. I love you very much. Thank you very much for hanging out with me for freaking over an hour. And we will see you Thursday night. Mwah. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Pimo, I know that makes you nervous. That's why I do it. Bobby, thank you very much for the stars, brother. And we'll chat at you all in a couple of days. Bye-bye. It's not